more than $400 million in damages, accusing them of defamation and extortion.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan. Wait till you see this lawsuit. For one case, we're going to put every single text message, every single document, everything on a website for everyone in the public to read, come to their own conclusions, and they can determine whether or not there was sexual harassment here, there was a smear campaign, or there was retaliation, because we have proof and receipts that absolutely and unequivocally show this is not
Hollywood, where every controversy is a potential blockbuster. Its lengthy list of ridiculous dramas has just seen another hit. The featured performer today is none other than Blake Lively. Yes, the former cast member of Gossip Girl, who seems to think that using legal PR efforts is the best approach to combat sexual harassment. Imagine this. A PR company is suddenly complaining about reputational injury, an actress, and a multi-million-dollar complaint. What could be more gloriously overblown? Let's get started on the most recent installment of this legal drama. The crisis PR agency, Street Relations Inc., is now suing Blake Lively in a turn of events that could only have been imagined in Hollywood. Jed Wallace filed the lawsuit alleging that Lively intentionally damaged his company's reputation to the tune of millions of dollars by mentioning it in her complaint against her It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni. You heard correctly, yes, it's millions, not thousands. Even a slight mistake in a legal document seems to be worth a small fortune in damages in Hollywood. But there's still more. Lively has been busy accusing Baldoni of sexual harassment and claiming that he launched a campaign of smear campaigns against her on social media, but she has also managed to drag a public relations firm into her controversies. Not only did she accuse her co-star in her December 2024 complaint to the California Civil Rights Department, but she also listed Wallace and his company as formal defendants in her subsequent federal lawsuit. It is like to inviting your neighbor to a party and then holding them accountable for the commotion, even if they never showed up. Add the plot twist to keep us interested, as if this legal maze wasn't enough.
And that what in fact happened was Justin didn't harass Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actress in it. And used threats and coercion and bullying to do it. And to the point where this guy was in the basement at his own movie's premiere.
According to Wallace, Lively requested a judge to allow his deposition, mistaking him for a subcontractor of TAG, a business that is suspected of being responsible for an illegal campaign of retaliatory social combat. The public relations agency now maintains that this error has damaged its reputation and cost it an estimated $1 million in additional losses, on top of the millions already stated. A 9-figure lawsuit is the stuff of legends in Hollywood, where it's just another day at the office. But hey, don't assume that this was only about PR blunders and legal jargon. Lively and Baldoni's ongoing dispute, which has already resulted in a flurry of lawsuits, adds even more drama to the story.
I'm not. This is horrible. This is painful. And this is humiliating for any human.
Baldoni's $250 million libel suit against the New York Times for their coverage of Lively's complaint seems to be the last straw in the legal drama. Indeed, it is a breathtaking irony that Baldoni, whose own lawsuit is worth 4 times as much as Lively, and her husband Ryan Reynolds' combined fortune, is now involved in this judicial circus. Furthermore, according to Baldoni's legal team, all of this chaos has left him emotionally and financially distraught, a claim that could be as inflated as the inflated financial amounts. Lively's legal team is treating this new case seriously in a world where litigation are everything. In a statement to Page 6, they rejected Wallace's lawsuit, saying it was just another state, another day, and another 9-figure lawsuit that aimed to silence Miss Lively for speaking out against retaliation and sexual harassment. She took the brave step of filing a complaint with the California Civil Rights Department, and they went on to describe it as blatant retribution. It's a quintessential instance of Hollywood counterattacks, with both sides launching legal slurs as if they're trying out for a part in a courtroom drama that no one requested.
A journal, as if I was Ryle and the things that Ryle experienced in his life. And I had to create, as an example, the trauma that happened to him. I had to recreate that for myself.
I just really love romance, and I love it as an audience member, and I love it in my real life, and I just really believe in romance.
You can't help but be amazed at how outrageous it all is. The well-known actress Blake Lively, on the one hand, is remarkably composed and concentrates on her family life in spite of the whirlwind of lawsuits and countersuits. She views this legal drama as a necessary setback, according to a person who spoke to People, as though lawsuits are merely small annoyances in the glitzy life of a Hollywood celebrity. Baldoni, the man at the center of this story, is portrayed as the tragic hero of our contemporary tragedy, fighting against a media apparatus that never fails to exaggerate the situation, in addition to his accuser.
That ended up actually getting picked up and doing very well, and I was one of 2 people, maybe. And then I get a call from my managers and my agent. They were both on the line, which means it's something serious. Either you got the job or there's something wrong. And they said, so you were the choice, but the network said that your eyebrows would be too distracting.
Oh, what?
Oh no.
And then they went like, so what can we do about your eyebrows?
So it's a bit of a tough adjustment in our house, but it's good. I mean, I have 2 other daughters, so my oldest is very into the baby, but my middle child, not so much. But we're thinking of keeping her.
Does she like play with her? What does she think?
Well, she sort of like pretends to play with her. So like in the beginning, our oldest is like loving on her, and she's like very maternal, and then our middle daughter is just keeps away from her.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious.
Let's stop for a moment and recognize the true ridiculousness of this situation. It seems like reputation is the most valuable asset in a city, where every slight is blown out of proportion and every argument becomes a multi-million-dollar show. To those who are unfamiliar with Wallace's claims, his company's reputation has been damaged to the tune of millions. However, in Hollywood, where every legal blunder is exploited, a public relations firm's reputation is as valuable as a major film role. They seem to be arguing that while you are free to file a sexual harassment lawsuit, you shouldn't risk damaging our reputation. Your career is worth less than our brand. The internet is ablaze with running commentary, hashtags, and memes as the drama plays out on social media. Every turn in the legal drama is examined in Twitter threads, and supporters of both sides participate in a virtual tug-of-war over who is truly at fault. Pop culture commentators and armchair lawyers alike are commenting on what seems to be the most recent chapter in Hollywood's never-ending tale of lawsuits and counterclaims, with hashtags Blake Sues again and the PR nightmare trending. It's an amazing show, with legal briefs being just as exciting as the newest celebrity controversy. One can't help but question, in the middle of this whirlwind, if this court battle is a sincere attempt to bring about justice, or if it's just another complex public relations gimmick to keep the spotlight on these famous people. Lively's legal team maintains that this is a necessary response to the illegal retaliatory activities she claims occurred, rather than a publicity gimmick. But the irony is obvious. Even though she comes out against retribution and sexual harassment, she is currently on the defensive against accusations of slander and damage to her reputation. It's the kind of paradox that only Hollywood, where reality is as pliable as a rewritten screenplay, could produce. The theatricality of it all should be dissected. Picture a busy courtroom akin to a red carpet event, where attorneys trade jabs rather than introductions. Wallace's claim is dismissed by Lively's team with a calm assurance as a last-ditch effort to push her into the background. The opposing side portrays Wallace and his public relations company as the unsung victims of a careless legal move, with their reputation supposedly damaged by a complaint's mere mention. More drama than a primetime soap opera permeates every speech, every cash amount becomes a talking point, and every legal maneuver is examined closely. Last but not least is the Justin Baldoni storyline. Once more, the actor is drawn into the center of a scandal that appears to be getting worse every day. He launched a big lawsuit against the New York Times for their coverage of Lively's allegation, and now he's up against a tale that makes him the antagonist in a contradictory scenario. You start to wonder if Baldoni is the star of his own personal tragedy as a result of his lawyer's allegations of emotional and financial ruin. As his legal disputes continue to make news, he maintains his stoic fortitude in the face of the whirling litigation and the unrelenting litigation. The entire story is, in the end, a masterwork of Hollywood's obsession with legal drama. Every grievance, lawsuit, and public relations disaster in our world are painstakingly planned to pique the public's interest. Personal grievances are transformed into epic narratives that equal the plots of the films in which they appear, making the larger-than-life characters involved in these disagreements seem to thrive on the attention. The fact that justice is not so much served in Hollywood as it is performed, like a complex dance of accusations and rebuttals on the biggest stage available, becomes brutally evident with every new lawsuit that is filed. What can be learned from all of this legal jargon then? Maybe it serves as a reminder that in a city that is based on spectacle, even the most serious accusations can be used to generate entertainment. Blake Lively's lawsuit for millions of dollars in damages to her reputation against a public relations firm is just one more instance of the never-ending string of legal blunders that characterize contemporary Hollywood. The legal circus will continue to run, with each act becoming more absurd than the last, as long as there are celebrities eager to transform private scandals into public shows. We are left with a situation that is both amusing and ridiculous in the end. The media environment, a renowned actress, an infamous co-star, and a PR company crying foul all come together in a court battle that defies logic, yet captures our collective imagination. Sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, as Hollywood reminds us with its tendency to make every remark into a headline and every slight into a lawsuit. It's just another day in paradise, as everyone in Tinseltown will tell you. What else could you expect, after all, when your conception of justice consists of multi-million-dollar litigation, exaggerated legalese, and a cast of actors that regard the courtroom as a stage? People, fasten your seatbelts, for this legal journey is far from over. The larger the lawsuit, the higher the ratings in Hollywood, after all. And as the cameras continue to record yet another scandal, one thing is very evident. Reputations are very expensive in the realm of celebrity drama. And that's the most recent development in the never-ending legal drama that is Hollywood, dear viewers. When there are litigation that keep everyone guessing, who needs a straightforward plot? Keep watching, because if there's one thing we know about Hollywood, it's that the show must continue regardless of the number of court battles required to maintain the limelight. Stay tuned.